Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, this lesson is going to be entitled, The Most Important Form of Preaching is the Street Teaching. And and I want to go into this because, you have certain brothers, sincere brothers, brothers that may even be diligent, but they're diligent only in the teaching in the enclosed doors. They're not diligent when it comes to the street teaching. So this is for you brothers that may be diligent in the teaching in closed doors, but not teaching on the streets, right? Which, you got sincere brothers that do that are probably of the elect, but you should look at the street teaching as very important. You have to get serious about the street teaching because the street teaching is the main thing, right? The scriptures say to remember the old path, remember the good way, right? Before there was an internet, before there was YouTube, before there was any of these things, what did the prophets of old do? The prophets of old, they went out on the highways and the byways, the highways and the hedges. They went out in the streets, okay, to make their body a living sacrifice, to be a humiliation, to be humiliated, right, in the midst of the people for their God, right? And who's our God? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And he said he said that he was through the foolishness of preaching, he will save them that believe. What is more foolish than the street teaching, right? When you're behind the camera, you can't even see your face. You're just behind the camera, and you just got the blue letter up and all these different things. How you make yourself a fool? That's an anonymous voice that's speaking. You understand? That's an anonymous voice. You're really not being a fool like that on that level, But when you go out there on the highways and the byways, man, you got people that look at you, they shake their head, they laugh, they point. That's all part of our walk, our bearing our cross. Getting out there in the midst of the elements. And that's why you have a lot of people who don't do it. You have a lot of people that don't do it because they're really offended at Yahweh Shai, and they're really scared about being ridiculed and all these different things, right? When that's what we're set up to do. We're set up to be mocked and ridiculed until the Lord basically justify us and confirm our word, right? So that these people look stupid, right? Because that's what he's getting ready to do. He's getting ready to make these people look stupid. We're not doing anything wrong, and we're not saying anything wrong. We're speaking the truth. It's these people that are infatuated with lies, man. So don't be ashamed to go out there and preach on the streets, man. I was always a person that, really cared about what people thought. I was always like that. And before I came out in the streets, I was so nervous that I was actually trembling. I was actually shaking. My hands were shaking. But I said, nah, it got to be done. And I was out there by myself, and I said it had to be done. And the first thing that happened was there was a so-called black woman that was peeking her head out out one of the doors, that was looking at me, laughing. And then she went to get her friends to come and look at me and ridicule me. That was a hard thing for me, man. That was hard, man. You understand? But through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he strengthened me in the spirit. He built it up. He built up my spirit that I was able to just endure it, man. Because I said, once I go out there, it's forever. There's no stopping. There's no holding back, man. I don't care what happens, man. That was my mindset, Of course, Lord willing, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai allows me to have, good health and things like that to be able to go out there. But hey, man, even in crutches, I went out there. I went out there for like months while I was in crutches. The brothers can attest to that, man. Especially the brothers Akari, he can attest to that, man. I was out there literally in crutches. My foot was fucked up, and even after the camp, it was swollen up because for some reason, I don't know, because I kept it because I was putting pressure on it while I was still, even though I was on the crutches. You're standing up on the crutches for hours, right? Holding yourself up, right? So that was my mindset, man. And that was all, street teaching, man. That was all street teaching. That was all because of the street. If I was at home, that shit wouldn't be that deep. You know, although I was doing lessons at home, but it wasn't that deep because all you gotta do is turn on the camera. You could be sitting on the couch, you could be flipping, laying on your belly, okay, and doing a lesson. That's not that's not the full sacrifice. You know what I mean? The full sacrifice is going out there on the highways and the byways, being seen by the people seeing your face, you know, people being able to come up and question you, you know, and ask about what you believe in and things of that nature, because that is what really got me. I can't speak for every other brother, but I'm sure the brothers, you know, what really got brothers was the street preaching. It wasn't the in-class lessons that got me, that really hooked me into this truth. It was really the seeing the brothers out there, the apostles and elders and you know, other brothers out there on the streets, right? Even these other camps, because I was watching other camps before I was watching the apostles, but the Spirit said, nah, they have the truth, you know. But even the other camps, it was kind of mind-boggling. It was like, wow, it was like outer worldly, right? To see, especially so-called black men, you know what I'm saying, coming out and you know, prophesying and have this knowledge, and people coming up and they're just confounding them, right? Because they're looked at as the uneducated. We're looked at as the uneducated, the fools of this world. So it was amazing to see the fools of this world confounding what would be perceived as the wise, you know, professors and doctors and dentists and Bible thumpers and all these people coming up and getting destroyed by the scriptures. But that was all happening on the street teachings. It wasn't happening on the computer. It wasn't happening on the regular online lessons, man. The main teaching that hooked me into this truth, and I'm sure the majority of brothers, I'm sure the majority of brothers as well, or all the brothers, was the street teaching. It was the street teaching, seeing brothers out there and battling back and forth with these people and confounding these individuals that were supposed to be the wise of this world. You know, seeing these jakes with these, you know, these so-called black men, you know, with beards on their face, Latinos and Native Americans with beards on their face, just confounding these people that are supposed to be the you know, the high and mighty of this world, man, the intelligent of this world. You know, it was very intriguing, you know. And even when you first come into this truth, you are at the stage, you know, I'm ashamed to say it, but you are at the stage of, yo, I want to see them cut somebody. I want to see them cut somebody. Yeah, I was at that stage at one point. But you grow out of that stage. You grow out of that, you know, where now when you start looking for more substance. I don't even watch these other camps no more. You know, I don't care how much, Edomite comes up, gets cut, Edomite does this, and Edomite woman bows down. I don't really give a shit about that no more. I don't really watch these other camps like that, you know, because to me it's you know, rarely, once in a blue moon I'll watch it, but I was like, it gets annoying to me. I'm just like, this is all fluff and gimmicks, man. You know what I'm saying? So you grow out of that anyway, but that's what initially hooks you, man. That's what initially hooks you. You see? It's the street teaching. So for you to neglect the street teaching is to neglect a major part of this truth, of this preaching. You know? Because when John the Baptist was known as what? One crying out in the wilderness, man. He was out there crying outside, man. He wasn't over a computer screen, man. Crying mean what? Lifting up his voice. He wasn't out behind a computer screen. You know what I mean? That's this new generation. You see? You know what I'm saying? So be mindful, man, that yeah, you may be doing a lot of lessons online and doing all that. You may be diligent. That's a beautiful thing, you know. Like I said, you know, thinking of a brother right now, he's very sincere, you know, and you know, he's diligent with the online lessons, but the main part of this preaching is the street teaching, man. To make yourself a fool, to get up and to have the discipline to go out on the streets and preach, right? You know what I'm saying? And guess what? And if you don't think you're disciplined enough to do that constantly, but maybe you need to get up under somebody. You know, get with a camp that's close to you. You know what I'm saying? So that you can be held accountable. Because sometimes we need to be held accountable by other brothers. You know, that's the thing. You know, we all can use that. I love that. I love to have a brother to hold me accountable for things, because I know that sometimes I won't hold myself accountable. I won't, you know, get on myself. You know, but if a brother may say something, he doesn't have to curse. We don't have to curse you out. But if he says something, I know that I'll be ashamed. You know, this is why I have the health. All the brothers, man, that's been in it. You know what I'm saying? It's been beneficial to me, been beneficial to all the brothers, man, because brothers hold each other accountable when it comes to our health. You know, and even me, I'm trying to get back on that track now, because, you know, hey, seeing brothers post and, you know, being convicted in the spirit. So sometimes we need that. You know, the scriptures say iron sharpeneth iron. You know, but the street teaching is very, very important. The Lord said that, you know, it pleased him to save them through the foolishness of preaching, man. Save those who through the foolishness of preaching. Save them through the foolishness of preaching. 1 Corinthians 1:21. Save them through the foolishness of preaching. Preaching where? On the highways and the byways. It's not about preaching on the internet over the mic. That's good, but the main thing is to go on the highways and the byways, out there in the elements, because that goes back to the old paths. That goes back to the prophets of old. You know? See, me personally, my favorite part my favorite part is not these type of lessons or the in-house lessons. It's the outside lesson. I can't wait to go out to the camp, you know, to interact with the brothers and to go outside and preach and prophesy in the midst of the people, the cloud of witnesses, man. You know, so be mindful of that, man. It's very important to go out there on the highways and the byways, man. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. It's a quick hit. I'll say shalom.